the people. Oh,
Somebody, oh,
he needs some milk.
What's good, KC Crew? It's your boy KC Roy, and I'm back with yet another reaction video. And in today's video, I'll be reacting to 15 strange things washed up on beaches. So, with that being said, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe, please. It's free. I don't know how many times I gotta keep on saying it. It's free. Now, if I find out you're not subscribed, I'm gonna mess you up. Just a heads up, there's so much stuff I have in store. A lot of gaming videos, a lot of genuine content. So make sure you look out for that. Make sure you look on my community tab. I post on there usually when I'm about to post a new video. Collabs. That's all I gotta say for videos coming soon. Collabs. 2021 is my year. Come on with your boy. All right, with that being said, let's get right into this video. Let's go.
Beaches are supposed to be home to fun times, parties with friends, and good vibes. But sometimes the ocean has different plans.
The vibes, it's all about the vibes.
You look good. Sometimes the washing of the waves likes to throw up unexpected things from the water's depths onto the sands, shaking up the good times. Get ready to see possible evidence of some of the oddest.
Ew.
These are the 15 strangest things washed up on beaches. Neither are shark attack beaches, both dead and alive. Megalodon shark. Sharks washing up on beaches, both dead and alive, is not all that uncommon. In fact, neither are shark attacks, with around 100 reported every year. But what's perhaps quite unique in this case is that the shark that washed up on an Australian beach looks nothing like other sharks in the area. What's going on? This footage makes the list for the 15 strangest things washed up on beaches because the shark in the video looks more like the supposedly extinct megalodon shark, a relative of the great white, than it does any other. Is there a chance this species could still be hidden in the dark depths of the ocean today? Not at all extinct like we've been led to believe? The shark was seen dead floating in the shallow waters of an Australian beach, and it was enormous. It's a great white or mako shark. Megalodons lived anywhere between 2.6 million and 16 million years ago, with sea temperature changes thought to wipe them out over time.
They are still in there.
Their teeth were up to 7 inches long, and they had 10 times the mass of the largest great white shark. There haven't been any proven sightings of the megalodon in modern times, but there's a first time for everything. Before we go on, we have a cool challenge for y'all. It'll take about 5 seconds to complete. Let's make a deal. Just leave a like on this video. Some amazing luck and fortune for the odd topic. Andre Vincent is studying marine biology at one of the largest universities in Britain, and boy does he have a story to tell. When searching through the drawers in his professor's desk,
Meet Editor X, the world's most advanced website design platform.
Looking for a phone that had been confiscated earlier that day when Andre had been caught texting in class, the young student stumbled upon this photo with no context. He knew that if he asked his professor, he would be reprimanded, so instead he posted it online, asking the world if they knew what was going on in it. It shows a man in a pretty intense-looking hazmat suit nervously approaching a colossal creature unlike anything we've ever seen. Lots of people have called the photo a fake, but Vincent claims he really did find it. So if it is a fake, why does a professor of marine biology keep it tucked away in his drawer? Or is it real, and does that professor know something we don't? Remember to comment down below with the hashtag #OddTopic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. And now to the next topic. Number 14. Giant tree. There are a few things as random as a casual walk on the beach being interrupted by a giant tree. But that was the case for the community of La Push in Washington. The township is no stranger to large, towering trees, but they typically form part of the landscape and, in an upright position. However, after high tides and strong winds, residents of La Push were puzzled to find not only driftwood all over their local beach, but the largest tree they had ever seen lying on the
washed
sands.
up on shore?
A retired school teacher by the name of Philip Lockman photographed the giant drift log in 2010 with his 6-foot daughter standing beside it. She looked tiny standing in front of it, with the tree's trunk at least 3/4 of her height above her. While Philip didn't take measurements, trees that grow in the area are often up to 200 feet tall and up to 10 feet in diameter. The most common trees in the area, of which this drift log might be, are western red cedar, Sitka spruce, and fir. Given the size and scale of the tree, it sure makes you wonder about the wind and tidal power it took to bring to the shore in the first place. Number 13. Civil War Cannonballs. To the untrained eye, this pile of debris on a Charleston beach in South Carolina would just be thought of as trash. It would be cleared away without a second thought, and no one would be any the wiser. But former Folly Beach Mayor Richard Beck, who knew a bit about the Civil War, quickly realized the trash was anything but. Instead, it was 16 rusted cannonballs that posed a potential risk to beachgoers.
Hey, yo. What? Those were cannonballs? Hold up.
Of 20
Rusted
and if it
cannonballs.
lay half submerged in the sand. Hurricane Matthew hit the southern United States with full force in 2016. People lost their lives, homes were flooded, and the damage and destruction went on for miles. But during the chaos and utter devastation of homes, the beaches were thrown into disarray as well, and the cannonballs were unearthed from their sandy tomb beneath. Richard Beck realized they were cannonballs, even in their decayed state, when he noticed the hole in one of them. Richard knew the fuses of cannonballs went into those holes, which allowed them to explode. He called the Charleston County Sheriff's Office bomb squad, who, with the help of the Air Force Explosive Ordnance Team, detonated them in a controlled setting. But finding cannonballs, as strange as it is anywhere else, is pretty standard in the southern parts of the United States. The beach where the cannonballs were found was where Union troops got ready to storm Fort Morris. The area also has a lot of history with Civil War conflicts, which means it's a hot spot for relic hunters looking to retain their own unique part of American history. Number 12. Huge Lego men. Very few children in the Western world would have had a childhood without Lego. Crafting new worlds out of plastic pieces is a favorite pastime for many. But if you're gonna find Lego, it's generally in boxes under kids' beds or stored away in attics, basements, and garages. Not supersized and on beaches around the world. That's what makes this find so mysterious. 8-foot-tall Lego men have been washing up on beaches all over the world, and people are both confused and a bit spooked. The giant Lego man, which has Ego Leonard painted on the back and No Real Than You Are on the front, has been a sporadic figure in the news since 2007. He washed up on a beach in Brighton and then again in the Netherlands with the number 8 on his back. That number made people believe that Ego Leonard, the Lego man, could be one of many. And they would be right. He was also spotted on a beach in Japan and more recently in Siesta Key, Florida. How many Lego men could there be out there? Research into Ego Leonard on the internet brings up information that describes the creator or creation as one from a virtual world. A website with further details says, "My name is Ego Leonard, and according to you, I come from the virtual world. A world that, for me, represents happiness, solidarity, all green and blossoming, with no rules or limitations." With no apparent connection to the giant Lego men, this find remains one of the strangest to wash up on.
SpongeBob Lego parts?
I hate it. I hate it.
Beaches. Number 11. Deadly German U-boat. In 1918, approximately 175 miles from Cape Villano in Spain, a German U-boat launched a torpedo that sunk a British steamer known as Wellington. 40 miles from Tory Island, another torpedo was launched, which took down the Arca, the British tanker. This submarine was on a mission to bring down the British, but it was cut short by the Imperial German Navy's surrender later that same year. The submarine may have done some real damage, but it was now of no use to anyone. It was decided at that point that the U-boat would be dragged to France and used for scrap. However, in April 2019, the dragging hawser broke off in a storm in the English Channel. The submarine ran aground on the beaches of Hastings, Sussex, smack bang in front of the Queen's Hotel. Locals and the military tried every idea and method under the sun to move the submarine back into the water to be dragged away. They tried tractors, vehicles, even a French destroyer to shoot it apart so it would be easier to move. Nothing worked. Given how close it was to the public, blowing it up wasn't an option. While the various options were pondered, the U-boat became a tourist attraction. The town clerk charged people to climb the deck, and the money raised, around £300, was used to hold an event for soldiers returning from war. However, Chief Boatman William Hurd and Chief Officer W. Moore, who conducted the tours, suddenly came down ill with what was thought to be food poisoning, and the tours were stopped. When their conditions worsened, lethal gas leaking from the submarine's battery cells was thought to have created abscesses on their brains and lungs. Both men lost their lives. The novelty was starting to wear off, and people wanted the boat gone. Eventually, it was broken up and sold for scrap, and the deck gun was gifted to the town. Evidence of a giant submarine on a random
skip ahead a little bit.
beach.
This is a long-ass
Number
video.
10, Baby Grand Piano. Have you ever... It's still pretty weird. Number...
Oh yeah, number 5. We're gonna stop at number.
It's meat. It's red, white, and green.
Apart from long, slow process could have all been for nothing. However, when they were eventually was reality. Scientists history, but it's still pretty weird. Number 5, 80-million-year-old dinosaur thigh bone. Imagine a world where dinosaurs roamed Washington. Sounds crazy, right? But 80 million years ago, it was reality. Scientists had been looking for marine invertebrates and fossilized animals in the San Juan Islands not far from Seattle when they stumbled across a fossilized bone in a marine rock in 2012. They immediately got in touch with the University of Washington paleontologists, and a team was sent out to excavate the fossil. Given the hardness of the rock, the process took a full day and another 18 months to prepare it for analysis. Scientists weren't even sure what they had, so the long, slow process could have all been for nothing. However, when they were eventually able to turn the bone over, they realized it was a thigh bone from a meat-eating theropod dinosaur such as a T-Rex. Given the location of the bone, scientists believe the dinosaur died near the sea, was thrown around in the waves, and finally settled among the clams. Number 4, giant eyeball. It's not every day you come across a fish lying on a beach, so it's certainly even less common to come across a large body part from one. A beachcomber was roaming Florida's Pompano Beach when he stumbled across a giant eyeball. It was unmistakably an eyeball, but from what creature, no one knew. He promptly handed over the eye to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, who then sent it on to the St. Petersburg Fish and Wildlife Research Institute in Florida. Genetic testing would uncover from which critter this eye came. Carly Siegelson, a spokesperson for the institution, said a large fish, such as a tuna or swordfish, was the most likely culprit. The bone around the eye ruled out a squid. If it did come from a fish, it's likely to be one that's far larger than most people have ever seen before. Number 3, World War II love letters. Like a plot from a romantic war movie, love letters were found washed up on a beach in New Jersey by a 14-year-old boy after Hurricane Sandy in 2012. The boy, Patrick, and his mom, Kathleen Cheney, were walking along the beach when Patrick spotted a box tied with a ribbon. In the box were 57 love letters between Darcy Fallon and Lynn Farnham between 1942 and 1948. The pair carefully dried the letters in front of the fireplace and started on a mission to track down the rightful owners. The home at the return address had been torn down, and an ad posted online revealed no results. However, when Kathleen visited findagrave.com, she found a listing for Lynn Farnham, who had passed away in 1991. Kathleen made an inquiry, and the love letter couple's niece got in touch. Dorothy was living in a senior high-rise in poor health, and the letters must have floated down the Shrewsbury River to get to their location. However, there were no living relatives in that area, and Dorothy's niece had no idea who would have had the letters. While mystery surrounds where they came from, they are now reunited with their rightful owner. Number 2, a live bomb. A buoy washing up on a beach is nothing to write home about. That happens all the time. But when that buoy turns out to be a live bomb, That's when things get interesting. A family had been picnicking at Buryport in Wales when their 2 young children noticed something washing up on the beach. It was a round metal ball with barnacles on it, and they thought nothing of it. The kids investigated it, had their photo taken with it, and carried on with their picnic. However, when Pembry County Park officials announced that the buoy on the beach was a United States military mine bomb, the family was shocked. Someone who had seen their family photo online alerted them to the discovery. The bomb was thought to date back to World War II and had been called into the bomb squad by a Coast Guard who noticed writing on it once the barnacles started to fall away. The beach was evacuated.
So I have a remote job where I work from home and work only 5 hours a week. But the craziest part is,
and the bomb was detonated in a controlled setting. Number 1. Garfield Phones. For close to 4 decades, locals in France around the Irois coast of Brittany have been dealing with pieces of orange plastic washing up on their beaches. All parts have a common theme. They all come from the 1980s Garfield Phones, which were all the rage at the time. However, they are not all the rage now, and locals were starting to grow weary of the plastic contamination. Where was it coming from? Why had it carried on for nearly 40 years? Many people had an inkling that the phones were coming from a shipwrecked or lost shipping container, but until one was found, no one would know for sure. The mystery dragged on for all those years, but was then solved in 2019. After an anti-litter marketing campaign surrounding the plastic attracted the attention of a farmer, he was able to pinpoint where he had seen one of the phones in a storm in the 1980s. Journalists were then able to discover a shipping container in a sea cave that was only accessible at low tide. Given the container's location and how it's buried underneath rocks, it will never be able to be removed. Therefore, Garfield phone fragments will probably always wash up on the beach. A harsh reminder of how long plastic lasts and how much damage it can genuinely do. Next time you go to the beach, you'll surely not want to leave home without a metal detector and a camera. There are some crazy things out there waiting to be discovered. What weird things have you found on beaches? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen.
Alright, yeah, that's it. Damn! Have you guys ever found something really weird on the beach? Let me know down in the comments below. If you want to see more of my videos, you already know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe. I gotta keep on saying it. Subscribe, it's free. It's free. 19. But yeah, if you guys like that video, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.
Perfect.